HQ presents Dead Man's Grave by Neil Lancaster, read by Angus King. Dedicated to John Fisher, 24th of January 1941 to 24th of January 2021. Lived a life in the Antipodes, but always a Scot. Your story, told over a good malt whisky, of a young policeman's search for his family history sparked the story which follows. I wish you could have read it. The deal's awa, the deal's awa, the deal's awa wi' the exciseman. He's danced awa, he's danced awa, he's danced awa wi' the exciseman. Robert Burns, 1792. Chapter 1. Tam Hardy was now sure. He had found the place. He felt a swell of emotion in his chest as he surveyed the dense tangle of bracken, gorse and brambles that covered the low wall of the cemetery. The only evidence of a chapel was a few scattered heaps of granite blocks surrounding the grassy broch. The landscape was sweeping, panoramic, and bleak. The sea was not quite visible, but it was definitely there, being the source of the incoming har, which crept closer by the second. As it swirled, he could just make out the wind farms in the surrounding fields that lay motionless in the still air. He had read some mentions of the disused burial ground on the web, but it had taken a lot of driving around the barren landscape, as well as asking the locals in the inn in Dunbeath before he had managed to find it. He picked out the creased black and white photograph from his barber jacket pocket and looked again at the old image that he had studied many times over the years. As a younger man, he had given it scant attention, but age and the reality of one's mortality have a way of making you more nostalgic for the past. Tam felt a rush of excitement. The undergrowth was thicker and taller, and the wall was a little shorter, more dilapidated. But Tam was certain. This was the burial ground his grandfather had once told him about. He walked quickly, wheezing heavily in the late afternoon chill, as the cold mist began to creep across the landscape from the North Sea. He shivered as the damp, clammy air bit at his exposed skin. His chest burned, and he coughed, deep, racking hacks that made his head swim. Wiping his mouth with his handkerchief, he tried to ignore the spots of blood on the white fabric. Something made him shudder, and it wasn't just the har dropping the air temperature, as it always did. He looked over his shoulder, back towards his Range Rover. Was that a noise? He wondered. He stood there for a long moment, staring into the distance, but nothing moved. He shivered, surprised at the slight nip of nerves that began to form in his stomach. Shaking his head, he moved on, determined to face whatever lay in that graveyard. Tam picked his phone out of his pocket and, noting the faltering signal, called his eldest son, Tam Jr. "Pa, you okay, man? The boys were wondering where you'd gone." "I'm fine, boy. I'm fine. I think I've found it, like." "Seriously?" "I'm walking to the burial ground now. It's the one, no doubt about it, and if the grave is there, it'll be plain as the nose in your face." "Well, take care. You shouldn't be out on your own." Quit your blethering. Has that bastard Turkish Joe called yet?" "Aye. He wants 30 on the key, though." "Well, the cheeky bastard can piss off. I'm no paying 30 grand a kilo, and who else is gonna take it?" "I said, man. He got a little pissed off when I told him." "You'll see sense. Right, I'm gonna check this shithole out. I'll speak later."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?